The Resident Evil Showcase has brought with it not only a nice long look at Resident Evil Village, but also an incredibly tall vampire lady, a brand new merchant, and tons of new juicy information. Let's dive in and see what we can find. So let's not beat around the bush, we need to talk about this giant woman. Using the doorframe as a comparison, it's clear to see she dwarfs not only her three companions, more on them in a bit, but also series fan favourite tallboy, Nemesis, who clocks in at a mean 7 feet 3 inches, and yes, I had to Google that. Considering the average doorframe size is around 6 feet and 6 inches, again, thank you Google, I reckon that puts our enormous female at least 8 feet tall. Basically, she's huge. But who is this character? Well, even though she's not named in the trailer, we now know that this is Lady Dimitrescu, and during a mysterious phone call, she shares someone else's name, a man called Heisenberg, who, at some point, has imprisoned our hero Ethan.
That Ethan Winters has escaped, that fool Heisenberg.
Further on in the showcase, we see another cutscene with our giant new friend, who repeats a similar sentence to Ethan, but replaces the name Heisenberg with little brother.
You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you?
Coupling this with a mention of her daughters in the previous scene, and it appears that we've got a full-blown family affair here. And who's Lady Dimitrescu on the phone to? Well, that would be Mother Miranda, the apparent matriarch of the family, who appears to be the person pulling the strings. A quick rewind to the previous trailer from the PlayStation Showcase in September shows the village residents performing an apparent ritual in the name of, you guessed it, Mother Miranda. Could she be the true power in these parts? Or is the name a pseudonym for something or someone we've seen before in Resident Evil's complicated history? Only time will tell. And now back to the say his name.
Heisenberg. You're goddamn right.
We haven't outright seen anyone attached to that name yet, but we have seen several glimpses of this mysterious man, a croaky-voiced potential levitator who's ready to fight with Ethan. Could this be our elusive Heisenberg? It's certainly going to be a boss battle, we know that much. Now let's talk about our 3 vampire daughters. Although it's never officially confirmed that they're vampires, or at least have vampiric tendencies, the combination of the final bite of the showcase, the repeated references to tasting man blood and wanting to cut your jugular, not to mention the pale skin, blood-soaked chins, and the Dracula-like Eastern European domicile, kinda leads us to that conclusion. And with the tall lady in the first trailer apparently drinking Ethan's blood, I'd say we've got this pretty much all wrapped up. The scene towards the end of the showcase, where one of the sisters is pursuing Ethan, also makes it look like there'll be new stalkers to deal with similar movement and reactions to Marguerite Baker from Resident Evil 7. Also, and now this might be a bit of a stretch, but they all appear to be wearing necklaces with red jewels that don't look a million miles away from the control device that Jill Valentine was wearing in Resident Evil 5. Could we be seeing another family under control by a greater evil like the Bakers in Resident Evil 7? And one final note about the enemies. In this creepy looking dungeon area, we're introduced to what appears to be one of the new cannon fodder enemies of the series. Gone are the moulded and zombies, and in are these shambling hooded bitey boys. I guess we can assume they're also vampiric of some kind, but they also have a taste for medieval weaponry, including swords and battle axes. Notice how Ethan can shoot them out of their hands? Well, look closely and you can also see a pickup icon appear immediately afterwards. Yes, it's most likely just a her pickup or something, but I prefer the possibility of a battle axe only speedrun in our future.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
As suspected from the teasers in the previous trailer, we now have stranger welcoming confirmed, in the form of a brand new merchant, the first since the iconic character in Resident Evil 4 called the Duke. The Duke's shop is called the Emporium, and not only can you shop till you drop, but you can also sell him weapons too. Game producer Pete Fabiano also confirms he'll regularly appear throughout the game in a variety of locations, opening the door to endless questions about which item you'd like to purchase. A merchant isn't the only thing returning from Resident Evil 4. Although previously confirmed, it's impossible not to get giddy at the sight of the fan favourite attaché case for all your storage needs. It's also confirmed that you'll be able to once again spend countless hours organising your equipment by playing arms dealer Tetris. In the trailer, we also get a new look at the castle grounds that bears a passing resemblance to Salazar's castle, also from Resident Evil 4. Now this is only an opinion, but fingers crossed the whole game takes place in these or similar locations, and we don't, once again, venture into a secret lab below this ancient architecture. So what is actually going on in Resident Evil Village? As we theorised in a previous trailer breakdown, it's now confirmed that Ethan is on a mission to rescue his kidnapped daughter. We even see a glimpse of Chris Redfield taking your child. This appears to take place immediately after Chris brutally guns down Mia, like we've seen in the previous trailer. So piecing this together, it appears Chris has offered up your daughter to the collection of vampires, but the question remains, why? Could it have something to do with the child's inherited blood from a previously infected Mia? The tall lady mentions a ceremony, so could they be trying to turn the child into one of their own? Or even combine bloodlines and create something more powerful? Or perhaps the sisters were also previously kidnapped children who were under some form of control like we theorised earlier with the necklace. It's all pure speculation at this point, but it's fun to guess. Speaking of the baby though, the eagle-eyed might notice some mission instructions when we're being shown the attaché case. It simply reads, "Look for Rose in the castle." There's a chance this could be another character, but our bet is it's the name of Ethan's lost infant. Speaking of names, it's also surprising how everyone we've seen in the village knows Ethan's name by reputation, especially considering he was a relative nobody before the isolated events of Resident Evil 7. Why is Ethan's name on everyone's lips, and what do they have in store for him? It doesn't look very nice at all from the glimpse of the handcuffed, probably about to be mincemeat Mr. Winters towards the end of the gameplay showcase. Oh, and is anyone else creeped out that the goat collectibles look a little like Black Phillip from The Witch? If he starts asking me if I'd like to live deliciously, then consider me terrified.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
That's everything we spotted, but if we missed anything, make sure to let us know in the comments. And if you like that video, why not check out the first Resident Evil Village trailer breakdown? Or, if you've ever been as obsessed with a classic Resident Evil sound effect like I am, why not check out the time I tracked down the bizarre origins of the lab door sound?